What is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C. And this particular review, or late review, depending on when you see it, it is David Makes Man Season 1, Season 1, Episode 7 review recap. Okay? Shout out to my YouTube family. And all part of my YouTube fan, don't forget to, like and subscribe, click on the button, get all notifications, get that bell, that full bell, and let's get on to it, y'all. I don't know why like today, y'all. I'm like kind of sleepy today. Um, I know it's almost midnight, so y'all. So this makes it fuck it, y'all. I'm probably just obviously gonna do the rest of my reviews tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Tomorrow is the season finale, so y'all may, like I said, may get a marathon of uploads. But the way I might upload the videos is I'm gonna put the season finale first and just put the other videos at first, whatever. So, anyways, um, somebody, was a couple people who was getting some treats. So I'm leaving that towards the end. Yeah. Now this kind of focuses on Halloween, which is interesting because I actually did my day 8 of my 365 video journey, but it was another like podcast that just got uploaded to YouTube speaker. And I was actually talking about stuff that was still in Halloween. So it's interesting, even though this episode came on like mid-September last month. It was interesting enough that I was talking about. I mean, I wasn't talking about Halloween because this episode had to do with Halloween. I was just talking about it because it's like, dang, 2 more weeks, Halloween here, and they already got damn Christmas commercials already, y'all. That Barrisman here. What was that Ballsman here? I know I'm saying it wrong. I was about to say when the BET show shows years ago. I was about to say Baldwin Hills or something like that. But it's this company with these expensive Christmas trees that start with a B in hills, and they're up here already today. Are trying. I mean, probably before that, but seeing regular TV, they already trying to get us on these Christmas trees, and Halloween ain't even here yet. We even say trick or treat. I mean, Halloween party, I guess. So, anyways, y'all, we're getting ready for the festivities of what's going on. But first, of course, there's a flashback. Now, this episode didn't have nothing to do with school. It was obviously, Saturday night, whatever, going to Sunday. But we first see a flashback where I think we see David. You see two people talking. Nobody has always, I mean, even though this is in the summer and this is just like months prior to, nobody's always had like this anger. I gotta be extra tough than everybody. He's always been kind of the one that's been in that area. Now you got, of course, Uncle Ty, whatever, and Desmond, which we talk about like that's what his, the muscle, whatever. Slash, well, he didn't really talk the last time we seen. First time we were reduced to him that much, so I didn't know he had a, Jamaican accent honestly until this episode. But okay, but so we get introduced to the scene where actually Sky was still alive, and David's looking for asking Nobi, where's Sky? Like you tell him whereabouts, blah blah blah. You know how Nobi always is. He's always puts 25 on 10. Okay, he always has that type of mentality, right? And he was even like that. Even Scott was like, okay, he's cool, whatever, whatever. Like, okay, we know that, but it was like we ain't trying to, advertise, basically, blow up our spots or whatever, blah blah. And Scott was like, okay, I know. And they go into, it's like, the trap house is one of these apartments, like abandoned apartments, or maybe they pay rent on. I don't know. I know this that's a question, but I'm like, but that's what they have. So Sky's in there, and you see, if y'all pay attention to the last episode, episode 6, you see, like I said, the dynamic that he has actually with his son, which is the next episode of season finale. Paying attention to the name, it says three sons of Sky. So I'm gonna be like, what? Okay, what's the cliffhanger of this? And I'm still looking, y'all, and it's still no indication if we're gonna get a season 2. I still have been researching, trying to, do my little Google on, and still have not seen it. But anyways, I'm just saying. Okay. But you see the dynamic of Sky just talking to David about certain things, but you just see the hug and the friendliness and blah blah blah, and it's it's something you didn't see, or at least in that scene with his own son. You see this happiness. You see like, you like a son to me. You like a little brother to me. You like a nephew never had, little cousin, a mentee. I'm your mentor. But you see like a more genuine and a close bond that is natural, and it's more happiness, and it's like a gene by like, you my family. But when he's like with the son, he like, "Nigga, you gonna go and I always turtle wax this damn dashboard." This is what the hell that was presenting. So anyways, we go flashback, to the current time. And like I said, they're getting, it was Saturday night. And you got of course now, like, Ray, is like in charge. You see it, whatever. And it was interesting enough. Like I said, now you got, we also see, I'm not gonna go to everything, but you see like Ray is talking to David in the car. They end up talking in the car, and he's up there. Ray's up there. I mean, no, David is up there with the calculations a day. Like calculations here. If you up there get all descriptions and stuff like that, here you cannot get this here, blah 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 blah, because the popo is going to be called. So this and this and this and this calculation here and here and here. And Ray trying to say, well, if we get this amount, then we can, we cut the slices in half, and here and here, and this is a fraction here, and 1/3 here, blah blah here, and done here, here, and whatever. And it was something about where, and also I forgot to mention the scene when Sky was talking when he was still alive. This was a hallucination. This actually was a flashback, because we had fireworks. And like I said, it was obviously around 4th of July, or probably would have been early June or May. We don't know, because some folks be up there having fireworks, and they be going on for about at least about 3 whole months through our entire summer. So anyway, started on Memorial Day. But anyway, so Sky tells him one important thing to know, be, and but like whenever before, you had the father and son bond between a Sky and a Dave, right? And he tells him, get you some calm. And then you see Nobi, finally like shut the hell up, and he finally leave, and you see like one, I guess, go get him. I don't, I'm gonna get, basically he gonna get himself some calm, okay? So, but then like I said, it fast forward. So, anyways, again we see no like I said, they like count or something like that. They get like I said, they getting ready, like to launch, getting these pills like on the side, but through David, because like I said, he got the prescription notepad from his psychiatrist. Obviously, took the whole damn thing, not even leave one, at least took half or whatever, you know what I mean, nothing like that. So they go like do that stuff on the side, and he said something about, I think, say something about Nobi coming or something like that. And he's like, you shouldn't be telling everybody everything anyway. And Nobi did this, David Patsy almost trying to knock his head off or something like that. Be saying shit, like you already know, he's like always on the top of his head, like, oh gosh, like Smosa, he do need some calm every day. Something just something just calm him down, because Nobi has always been angry or whatever. And it seems like, I think he's always been like that anyway. But Sky was like one of the ones that kind of calmed down. Ray, someone still was able to calm him down, but we don't know. Like I said, hopefully, for Lord willing, that this gets a season 2, and maybe more seasons than that. But it's just to see how, like, where does Nobi end up? You know what I mean? And so, anyways, but they was like, okay, we cool. Ray's like, hold on, he all right. He didn't mean to say that about you, like, like not telling you what's going on, blah blah, but nobody just gets sick of, basically David talks up. But like I said, he don't like David anyway, and then he has this attitude anyway. This means that he has to keep up this approach, alpha male, all caps, okay, to the fullest, okay. I ain't got no heart. I'm that nigga. That's that mentality, right? Or if y'all remember the class of Spice One, a nigga ain't got no heart. That's what Nobi's trying to give us. So, anyways, we have it also at the same time, right before, after Nobi, spazzes out on David again, whatever, tries to. And you see also on the side Willie, the little boy that's actually Nobi's brother, on the side. They talking about, you get the heck on. But it was just interesting that they kind of showed him, and he was outside, with Nobi, in the middle of this, in this life, in this game, like he's just there. And but, well, who keeps calling him when David and Ray were making exchanges? you keep sharing the call ID, and first day we kept on like cutting it off, cutting it off, or decline the call or hang up, whatever. And then Ray was like, "Go pick up the phone." And so here, here we go say this here. Um, Here Dave finally picks up the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yeah, you said 8, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure. Oh, I promise. I promise." And Ray like, that better be a bitch the way you up here caking. And he just like, he ain't saying nothing. Okay, but he had a smile on his face as soon as he like said that. So there's already been questions about like, let's say open in question, but open stuff like we don't know for sure, like the Saren, like I said, we all know Tara said, like, during the dance episode about, like, she thinks that Saren is gay. And David, I think, likes Tara, but we don't, like I said, we don't know. And, you know what I mean? But he gets off the phone with him. He was just like, all right, whatever. But, so he getting ready next day, to go to church, and he's got that same the suit, the sky blue suit, I like to call it, because that sky was, like I said, wearing that color before he faded when David chose his fate in the last episode. And his mom was like, what are you doing? You like, you ready for church? And she like, that's a sin. You ain't supposed to be going to church on Halloween. And he was saying, about the events they going for Sarah, blah, blah, blah. She like, all right. And how they post, I guess, the neighborhood, the park complex, whatever, the Ville, they have like a whole little Halloween party. They trick or treat, have little stuff going on, and whatever. So he goes and he finally gets in the neighborhood, whatever. And when he's going towards that, you already see like a couple joggers, occasionally you see the lady looking at, even though she's the one driving, but she's looking at David walking around. And I know she's like, what is this Negro doing in my neighborhood, type of look, and kept driving. So that's already making David uncomfortable. And then when he's going towards almost like the gated, like, because obviously Saren's family, Mr. and Mr. Kelly, they live in a gated community. And first he was about to go up to the guard, didn't want to do it. Then he changed his mind, was about to go up there. It was like, can I help you, or get in the fence or whatever, right? So, and then who's coming out is actually the Kellys. So he gets in the back with them, whatever. And when Mrs. Kelly, Saren's mom, turns around, you see this bruise all on her face. Because Sarah's got like this uncomfortable look, but I mean, a lot of times it's uncomfortable, especially when you see when his parents are around anyway, or his stepdad and biologically his mom. Okay, I forgot what the hell his name was. Okay, not like I don't care. So, but she was saying, "Oh, it's just a love tap," and the stepdad like, "Well, that's my," but she's like, "Just stop. It's okay. We used to get that all the time, but he just got a little carried away, blah blah blah." And I'm thinking like, I don't know. Like I said, maybe we might get more up to like, because it seems like both of the parents are, I mean, both of them are abusing Saren physically in some way and verbally abuse him as well. And it seemed like it's, you know what I mean. So, anyways, when telepath, David again is telepathically trying to ask Sarah, what is he, are you okay, blah, blah, blah. Sarah just tuned out, and he's doing like some little self-harm because he's been picking at his fingers so much. You see dry blood around this. He's just steadily like doing this in the nail bit, just like this. And you see dry blood that's around it, probably from picking it so hard, because I seen a bruise, but I don't think I seen any blood or any, ain't no wounds open, ain't no cuts where his mom was bruised at or whatever, the love tap or what happened. Or I don't know if she was beating his ass and he ended up like doing a reflex like that. It's like, I'm sick of this shit, and punched her. We don't know. Okay. So they get ready for this church, and then you got the man saying like, about the secular holiday. I was like, well, the kids know they ain't about to get no tricks on this some Halloween candy there at that particular church. So anyways, Sarah's getting ready for him. He's about to do his first solo for Man's Day, and the preacher, the deacon, more so was up there talking, and he was saying something about the man of God, something the man of God, and something when he was talking, Dave was actually having another hallucination, And again, here's Sky kept coming back to him. And then in the middle of it, David stands up, and this actually is another hallucination. He said, I'm the son of God. And actually was in one of the previews with OWN too, like on their YouTube channel. And actually it ends like that. And everybody turns. But really nobody's turning. It's just Miss Kelly is up here asking, did David have to go to the bathroom? And then he was like, oh, just excuse me. And then he leaves. So he's going to the bathroom, putting water on his face. And then we see Sky. Sky's back to the first outfit that we were seeing in the beginning that day, the first episode, the black shirt. But Sky is completely turned back, and you see a bullet in the back of his head. So that's indicating right there, like I said, it was 9 times 10. We realized like Sky 9 times 10 was murdered, but it was like it was starting to be, of course, clarity of like how that happened. And he was like this, I told you not to look. And again, you see that then you get Sky again, like 2 more scenes before he left the bathroom showing him. And Sky is not looking David in the face. And also showing the bullet, which, also too is, was Sky also not showing his face because also too now to show the traumatization of like what David's still facing with the bullet in the back of his head. And seeing that's obviously how he was killed and, by getting shot in the back of his head. But also the fact is, remember, when he made his choice, Sky had faded and Ray, appeared behind Sky. And so now when Sky is appearing to him, he's turning his back almost to David at the same time, as if like when you made your choice, I don't need to talk to your ass, basically. Like you made your choice and faded, whatever. But so he's talking to him, but he's not talking the same ways he was or interacting with much. It's just like, you shouldn't have looked. You shouldn't have looked. You shouldn't have looked. So it could have done me. I don't know. But so he goes back and he goes back to China. By the way, when he was on the way out of church, this was actually in the trailer. I forgot who's that lady, but there was the perfect song for the trailer thing, the Sing to the Moon song. I think Linda, whoever her name is, but that's the name of the song, Sing to the Moon. And you see the scene in the church. And I first thought, is this really happening? But it was a hallucination. He thought everybody was looking at him. And then it seemed like people that had like some, may have some importance or he deals with on a regular basis, or have some importance. You see like sitting in the pews as Dr. Trap, his mama, JG, Mrs. Hurt You. I know I'm probably pronouncing that lady's name, Hurt You. And then even at the end, you see Nobi like the dress, and you see like the scene where it looked like he like Ray about to do this, like he air shoot, like he go like target him, like he next or whatever. And that's another hallucination he had just going to the bathroom. So when he comes back, y'all, he's, Saren has his solo, I mean, he was up front. He was on, not the one singing, but it was, song about the folk or whatever. And he sings, and, the actor who plays, Saren has one of those voices, like, I wouldn't be surprised, like, he has one of those voices where I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not limiting him like he might be musicals or, some type of theater play. He has one of those type of voices, you know. So, anyway, I mean, it's good voice, but I'm just saying, that's reminded me, it was like, oh, this would be good for a musical. But so after he performs, and get ready, everybody's congratulated. But here his parents again got finds like little jab. And his mama, oh, you good, whatever, but you gotta work. You're a little squeaky on A and something else, but just a little more practice. That's all you need. And it's the usual assholes. So, anyways, but David's like, you did good, whatever, blah blah. Try to cheer Sarah up. So when they about to leave, um here we got David's like, I'm about to go to the bus stop, about to leave. And they like, no, we could go take you home, whatever, it's on our way. So when they want to way home, it's by that time. And y'all also notice too, y'all, Gloria is still limping. Okay, she slowly sometimes can get out of it, but you still see times she's still limping around. And I don't know how many days or how many weeks that unfortunately Gloria has had this issue, okay? So she got this cute little outfit on, and she convinces, like, if she finally meets Sarah, I don't know if she's met Sarah before or whatever, or she hasn't seen him a while, but she's at least heard about him. And she's able to convince, and, JD is, this guy's like, his little robbery mask, he's all dressed in all black, and that's what it's gonna be, a little robber, right? And for it, but they were able to convince his parent the parents that that could stare and stay to have like I said, just like like this little Halloween party where they do a trick treating parties, all the stuff, it was okay. And then eventually they're like, surprisingly, they were like, and thankfully for at least for a couple hours they were like, for a while they were like, sure, go right ahead. And so when they're coming up the stairs, Mrs. Lodge is sitting there looking like one of the goddesses of, if they ever have another Disney movie. I mean, it was pretty, but I'm like, if they ever have another Disney movie again, and she's like one of the goddesses of one of the films, if they ever have another black person is a theme, whatever. That's what she was giving me, but so then, and Mademoiselle, I'll give that. So, and so she's going to help with the costumes. David, still I think had on, his suit, whatever. So when they go in, Elijah, Mrs. Elijah ends up like doing the Victoria thing, Victoria outfit, where she basically was able to put a glove on and have it have, just wrap like mimic of a dress material of it. And then when Miss Elijah was about to apply some makeup on, Sarah like this, like, boys ain't supposed to wear makeup, And Miss Elijah probably could see like what Sarah was going through without Sarah wanting to admit that. And Miss Elijah was like this, my place is an open door for young ones, and you can leave if you want to. If, screw whatever. Basically, like, I'm here for you. My place is safe haven, but if you don't feel comfortable, let me know. Or hint is, I know you probably going through stuff. I know you probably are still trying to find yourself or whatever. But so many ladies basically, in other words, make Sarah say it's okay. And then when she's about to say, I'm just gonna put a little, little here, little shine or whatever, bake or whatever, makeup terms is. I don't know, bake. I don't know, they still use the term, but bake a little, whatever. And just do that for you. And then she puts a nude color, I think, lip gloss, which like she and just gave it to him. So she may be able to see something about Sarah that he still cannot find within himself, right? So what happens is that, like I said, she does so her last touches was, like I said, she got mustache over here one side, and comes outside of, with his costume on, and after he finishes in the park, and I also pay attention to JG was sitting up here. I'm like, oh, so he gonna do some depth. He got the mask on. If y'all remember the classic movie, which I couldn't watch that because at times at parts because I had to close my eyes because of the hallucinations, which was scary as hell. Okay, David's hallucination will play. It was for the kids compared to that scary as shit. If y'all see Dead Presidents, okay, I was like, what the hell? Jesus be a whole entire fence in the Great Wall of China. So anyway, they got ready to go out, and but before they left out, here's Miss Lodge like, okay, you ain't about to come out with no costume on. And so he was like, he was in by this time, blue tee with his shorts, whatever. And first he was like Miss Lodge trying to get him a wig, and he was like, no, that's too itchy. I gotta go with something. But also, I noticed too with Sarah, he didn't know the proper pronouns to call Miss Elijah because he was like, he is she or he. What am I supposed to say? And David was like, just Miss Elijah. That's okay. That's okay. You know what I mean. Just call Miss Elijah, Miss Elijah. Okay. So when they come out, Miss, like I said, it's giving us Mademoiselle. Then you got JG looking like he's about to get them dead presidents, and David's he has a crown on his head, like if y'all you know what I'm saying, like the king. I'm not the Burger King crown. It's like I said, the king of the world crown type of thing. But I'm like it's a symbolism, like David wants to be known as the king, which is interesting because if you want to be on the biblical stuff, I mean I'm still learning about the Bible, and I'm trying to be make this about biblical religion, but remember, David in the Bible, David, was a king as well. So I'm just saying, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I just was throwing it out there because this show has so many interpretations of symbolism in it. It's just wow. But let's get back to. So we got Mrs. Hate You. I'm gonna keep calling her that, even when I find out the lady's name, because she has a hate you attitude. when we learn more about her, she probably be nice, kind, warm, whatever, and less known by. But she has a meanest effect. So Mr. Hate You, because a lot of times she do be in some hater stuff. So she got nerves to talk about Miss Elijah, like, with Sarah's costume. Now, nobody else actually said nothing bad about Sarah's costume. It seemed like it was her. Was the only one like Mrs. Hate You talking about some and didn't Dolores say she has 3 kids? Are we ever gonna see any of her kids or whatever? What happened? Whatever. Like I said, she just seems to be a lonely, bitter woman, whatever, and some layers with that. And her way, just like Nobi's this angry ass person every damn second, it seemed to be the same with with Mrs. Haichu. Like she has a lot of bitterness, and now she, she got a little softy a little bit when she gave Gloria extension to 2 weeks, whatever. But like I said, that stuff. So, anyways, y'all, um, we got she gonna nerve our dad to say something about you trying to sissify and infect them with your sissiness disease and blah blah. And I'm thinking like, oh, Mrs. Hate You forgot last time. She didn't get the first time when Miss Elijah pulled aside about her depends in the thing trying to come at JG in the pissy sheets. So this time he might have just said one word, really, no, not one word, one sentence. Like, well, speaking of infections, don't you need to, worry about your T cell count? And I was like, T cell. We usually hear that with not because, but when I think about T cells, it's either people who are HIV positive or may be affected with AIDS in some small cases. But that's what I usually hear. Honestly, the word T cells. Okay, and she just as soon as she heard T cells, she didn't say nothing else and took her ass, and Mrs. Hate took her ass right into the house. So she didn't say nothing else. Okay, so they first went to the first house of Mr. Elijah right there, but like I said, JG is like, oh man, this woman was giving out probably salted roasted peanuts she gotten, and it's she's like, here you go, and JG was like, peanuts, what the f is this? I was like, and that's me being for one censoring myself for 2 seconds. I just was like, and that's why I'm like, JG, we gotta go. Sorry about that. We appreciate it, but she's sitting here giving out peanuts and stuff. So we see another scene where we, look at, where even Ray's in, the hot you got the spirit on got if you follow him on Instagram, which I found a couple weeks ago, it was, seeing him in this like the Roman like or Roman Greek Empire like warrior or king, outfit would have like the white cloth, whatever, and like the golden wrap around, whatever. So he in the spirit counted some money, right? And in a minute he got his headphones on. And what happens is excuse me, y'all. What happens is somebody just comes in there and you hear a little like almost like a little scary music, and they got Friday Jason Mask, and it's Desmond. And this one found out he got blood McCott, all of a sudden this accent, whatever. So he got to start over counting because like, man, you scared, blah blah blah. That's like, well, it's a Halloween spirit, blah 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 blah. And he paid attention to a phone, and he's it was 4 phones on there, and he's paying attention to one phone. He's like, you know what? I see, where you get this phone from? And he was like, oh, I just had it blah blah. And he was like, oh, this belonged to. Last time I seen a phone like this belonged to a snitch, and I took care of that. So tell me again, what's the phone? And he said something about, it was on Bridge Street, something like this. And he was like, I never seen no phones like that. Ray and them, they just stare at each other, whatever, whatever. Then all of a sudden, that's like, I'm just effing with you, blah blah blah, ha ha ha, whatever, right? And then I think, then Ray decides I gotta get something from the car. And Ray was like, I'll see you back at 5. And I was surprised this, but then like looked through the phone or something like that, whatever. I don't know. He just was like, oh, okay. He just stood in there. So he goes to, Ray goes to the car and turns up some music, whatever. Because like I said, by that time, Gloria's outside, people outside, like I said, it's like they really go on out for their Halloween parties. Okay, I guess. So then you see like Gloria and Ray for a second doing the bump where like David then were looking. Because I think by that time, JG was warning folks about don't touch that damn candy and whatever peanuts, whatever the case is, right? So also around this time, Desmond comes out with his proprietary mask, scare folks, whatever. But when he jumps off of the rail down the from like midway to the first floor. And I mean, it's only two floors in that place, but I'm just saying, And then when that happened, it clicked to David. And it goes more into the detailed night when Sky passed away. I don't know, maybe if that was the first, was that a different night, whatever, when, the first time, what, what's his name was told to keep some calm. But all of a sudden, David started getting more flashback, and you see like Sky was there. I don't know if David was like running past or whatever when this occurred, but you see Sky scuffling on with somebody. You can kind of tell like in the outlines of the circles, like where you can see the skin, that it looks like it looked like Desmond or somebody very fair skinned and whatever, you know but you see him tussling a little bit and whatever, and then David like runs and ends up going to this room, and then you see even more of it when it comes out where it's like Sky seemed like he's whatever, and he knows he can't run away, whatever. So he says to David, because he probably knew David was looking at him, dude was one of like, don't look. So I don't know if David looked or not, because Sky keeps saying you shouldn't have looked. So he might have, but he didn't kind of show that part. But they didn't show exactly got like you seen he was about to get shot, and he was shot obviously at execution shot. You just heard the sound effects, and that's what David before they went to commercial. And you realize that he put two together, realized Desmond killed Sky. Okay. So, anyways, unfortunately, so that's what's going on. So then we get another scene where they're trying, like the mom also Gloria, got the witch hair included, and got made it to a haunted house, and I think this after like the revelation of finding out who was Sky Killer. And David goes into the house, and the mom was like, we got this, and she's made some spaghetti noodles, and that supposed to be like monster brains or something. And David was like, wait a minute now, we can't afford this. We can't afford to have fun. And Gloria was like, we do this every year. And Dave was like, we just did this only last year. And, Gloria was like, okay, well, I know we didn't do it the year before last, whatever, because I guess certain stuff was happening. But she was like, I want to do it this year. But Dave was like, we can't afford fun, okay? And Gloria was like this. Okay, I told you, I got you, I'll take care of it, whatever. We'll just worry about the financial problems we got now. But for now, we're going to enjoy ourselves, whatever, basically, like, don't let the troubles take our smiles away. Okay, that's pretty much what she was coming. Take don't let don't let the troubles take the smiles, your joy, your happiness, so forth. So that's what she was coming David. Now there also was another scene, and this was kind of I think after Saren and stuff had left, and because it was a sad scene. Whereas, you got Saren, they're talking. And Saren by that time it's nighttime now, and I guess, evening time. And, he's taking off that, the dress part, whatever, and the wig, and, the makeup, special effects that was put on by Miss Elisha's taken off. And it's just so sad because, Saren is like, I'm going, he's like, you feel like you're a brother, he doesn't say that part. Now, interesting enough, he said, I feel like we're friends, and you're like the best friend of me. And David starts crying, saying like, you're the only friend I have. And it was sad. It was really sad and emotional. And Sarah saying like, you're like, you're more than a friend, but not like that. But interesting enough, instead of saying like, when you're close to somebody like friends, you will say like they're relatives 9 times out of 10. Not everybody will say close friends, but some people, that's one of my sisters is actually my best friend, but we've been around each other, like I said, not just the fact of being around just like 17 years. We've been saying we were like sisters, blah, blah, blah. But, you have people you'll say your cousins or, such like that, or you're related to, you, close, whatever. But instead of them connecting and saying that word, they just kind of left it like, we're more, a little bit more friends, yeah. And just kind of left it at that part, where again, it's like, okay, interpretation. Are they admitting that they have like platonic but a little past, or Sarah meant that he has like way more than platonic that was past David? Does David connect? I don't know, but it wasn't like them flat out saying, okay, I look at you as like family or a loved one I don't have, but they do at least have a closeness, a very close platonic bond. Like I said, they telepathically, talk to each other like they're real close, as if they're like play twins or something like that, how some identical twins, they say, or some twins, period, or siblings have like a secret hidden language or something. So, um, but Sarah, but they were recording. But Sarah was saying like, it don't matter what's gonna happen when we get home anyway. It don't matter. He basically started tuning out, and they know like, I don't think I'm gonna miss you at some times. And Dave like I'm always gonna be here. And it was kind of scary him saying that because already Sarah and David's like how he's concerned about and stuff. I think they're having them type of stitches fitting about how they feel somewhat about circumstances. And by this time, the Kellys, the evils, I like to call, pull up, and they're like, okay, it's time for you to go down. And Sarah ends up hugging David and whatever. But even though he said a couple times, I don't care, because the mom asked, like, what's wrong with your suit, man? He was like, I did what I wanted to do with it. Because he's starting to tune out, because the reality is he knows that he is going to be abused again as soon as he gets home and keeps living in this damn nightmare. That's where Principal Fellow need to be checking on, okay? So anyways, um, it ends up where he ends up hugging him and he gives David a note. And the note, already that's kind of society to say he don't care. He's desensitizing. We don't know if possibly if Sarah is going to possibly self harm itself, try to commit suicide, murder somebody, attack, retaliate. We don't know, but we were seeing more and more Sarah. Even like since last episode, or more and more since the season, you keep seeing him disconnect more and more and more. Just like you see more of David's hallucinations, you're seeing the disconnect of Saren of him like tuning out from reality. Both of them are tuning out reality for different reasons. Okay, so he leaves and goes in the car, and David was like, make sure you just be careful and stuff like that, and tells that to him. And Miss Elijah, approaches David and he sees sad. And Elijah's like, sometimes, you can't save everybody and stuff. And it's sad but true, whatever. Sometimes you gotta give people their problems, whatever, back to them. So we see that David ends up going up back to the trap house, whatever, trap apartment, whatever, on the second floor. And he hasn't been there ever since Sky passed. And nobody again is like, you would think like, Ray was like, oh, so you haven't been here since my dad passed? No, he acting like that, acting like Sky was instead. And Ray was like, it's okay, blah, 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 whatever, right? So they talk a little bit, and here's the thing. He noticed that his pills, the ones he got, they put in the brown recycled, 100% recycled napkin or something like that napkins. And they try like, what, this and that. And David's like, man, this can get rained on away. And they're trying to say the economic way, like, oh, well, this is cheap and this is probably better, but it like trying to say it's better. And David ends up taking a piece of pie and burning tip at the end and showing like, okay, y'all can do what you want with taste stuff, whatever, Jesus shit. This is my shit. And y'all gonna sell it, because even Nobody's like, what? But this is basically they saying like they way is better, and he was like, about eggs making it to omelet, whatever, with a side of hash browns. And they like let him know like, but eggs cost too, okay. And he's like, this, y'all ain't about to mess up my stuff or whatever, showing. And Nobody was getting mad, man, I'm getting tired of you, whatever, about to, put hands, give David the favors. And Ray again stopped him. And Nobody's like, again, like, man, you ain't always like down about anybody, and one day you gonna get it, or something like they said it, but basically saying like David's not always gonna be protected. David kind of, okay, if you're gonna do something, do something. But at the point, but Ray still was able to defuse the situation. And again, here we got, look, get you some calm. Ray said that too, so Nobody leaving. But that's what I'm saying. David's like, he wants his money, blah, blah, blah. So David's becoming more of the brains, and I actually somewhat has taken over the operation as well, okay? That combination, having the book sense and the street smart sense, is starting to kick in, okay? So, because I remember, I could have sworn also too, didn't like Dobie say something about coming like, then, Ray, no, not Ray, but Sky told you he wanted you the books anyway. You thinking about that, like, blah, 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 like I said, Nobie be like, rare. So, anyways, I forgot to mention, like, Star's costume. Star's costume was kind of like, I don't know, he's supposed to be like a member of Norbert the Lord of the Rings or something like that. One of them type of costumes, I think. I didn't know honestly what Sky was. Okay, what character he was. So, anyways, the next morning, speaking of people getting some extra treats, um, we see Nobi like this, y'all. He like this, and you see some lovely, pretty pillows in the background, whatever. They were nice, and he's like this next morning. You see the aftermath, all the cleaning up and all this other stuff, whatever. Next day, and he like this, like when the snakes go around in a circle. And you keep your enemies close and stuff like that. And 2 seconds later, you basically see his face that he's actually, climaxing whatever. Oh, ski, 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 okay? And all of a sudden, they whatever, and you see from the angle, you see, yoo-hoo, Miss Elijah pops up and she got a red cup in her hand. I was like, is that Hennessy or something? He's all shocked that she learned some new tricks, whatever, or whatever last time, or whatever. And did she go to seminar? And honestly, the cup must have been like a mouthwash or something, because I see that she was spitting out at the sink, whatever, whatever. So, anyways, so he's going to proposition. He's talking about, oh, we getting changes in the program and all this other stuff, and wanted to use phone number stuff to confirm. They needed to add the phone numbers, and the phone rings to confirm, like, I guess like the script, something to do with descriptions. And Miss Elijah's like this, okay, sure. I want 20%. I want access to all 3 prescriptions, something like all prescriptions, something like that. And also she wants prep, which, like I said, this has been debate. Like, okay, like I said, I know it's at least like 2009, but was it 2012? Because that's when it came out. Like I said, I don't know. It seemed, like I said, based on the song, it seemed like it was 2009. Like I said, when Clapton dies, you Google it, it was in 2009. I remember hearing that song before, and a YouTube video longer than it was around that time, either 2009 or 2010. So I don't know, but they said Prep came out 2012. So okay. So, but um, but also Miss Lodge had to remind him, like, hey, just like how when David was talking about like how they get in trouble if they get some drugs, the popos at it. Miss Elijah reminded Nobi that there's a family charge, that prescription stuff. So like you taking I'm already taking a chance for them. So yeah, I expect something from it. So. And it's interesting enough, nobody's talking about, well, how can I trust you? I'm like, you just trust your whole thing. Okay, you trusted Miss Elijah, and you all this stuff, and you trying to play like all this macho ass dude, whatever. And you sitting here with Miss Elijah, and and Miss Elijah's like, well, we got some secrets. But I know that was the most comments I was seeing, I think, Nobi. I think besides sometimes KG talking to his brother throughout the series. He's usually always angry as hell, like 95% of the time. But I noticed with Miss Elijah, he was calm. Or maybe because he just released us some calm. Oops, that didn't sound right. But it is what it is, too. But so he's coming out, and Star's talking to David. I know this is a little bit over, y'all, but it was a lot of information. Sky was talking to David, and the thing was yeah, I think it's the next morning, because I know they said, I guess it was the Halloween party. Yeah, it was Sunday. So it was next morning. Star said he's gonna have to leave because heck, he's a runaway. He has a scholarship for him, but he can't get to 18, so he's gonna go back Tampa bound. So I think Star is actually 16. And what also people were, I have noticed the comment with other YouTubers I've been watching, and actually Googled myself. Star actually was hints in the translate that was in the second episode, I think, kind of hinted that, that Star sometimes can catch the water when he takes the medicine. And I didn't know Star is a trans boy. And I didn't know that, whatever. So that I don't know. I just said I remember that yeah. So because of the actor, like I said, is a trans boy that plays Star. So like I said, because I didn't know what the age of Star was. I think like 16 or something like that. So Star could be on the move and go. So they outside, and it looked like Nobi was coming out of his large apartment. He was just like talking to, I think, at least the Dig Boy. What you looking at? F word, it. And Star was like, something like, you definitely got to watch the company you keep, or something like that, right? So I'm like, don't you got to get to school? So I think before David leaves or whatever, he walks in the house, and you see Gloria on the bed. And I first thought it was a hallucination because she sounded like just there. And David asks his mom, like, are you able to take the KG to school this morning? She was like, my hip hurts. So I guess maybe David has to do it or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe she did or whatever. Or finally admitted that she's still in a lot of excruciating pain. And then you see David, he puts that crown on his head, and because you're hearing that song, then you know what Kanye wasted with that song "Beautiful Morning," that song, and you also see Mrs. Hertue, she's taking her medicine. You see Saren, and he's using this lip gloss to try to blend and get rid of this scratch, this busted lip that he has from whichever one of them asshole parents or both of them, who knows. But um then you see David at the end. He's sitting at this chair, this guy's be the Ray used to be at, and he has this crown on his head. And it kind of ends the credits like that. He's becoming the king, and I don't know if he's going to try to eventually come to the kingpin, but whew, yeah. So, but also at least shows that Sarah didn't try to, hurt himself, you know. So, at least for now. But anyways, y'all take care. Hugs and loves, everybody. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you manana. But like I said, I got 2 more episodes left in the season finale. So my goal is to have this all finally done by tomorrow. It's about 12:40. I think I'm done for the night. Whatever. Y'all take care. God bless, and see y'all in the next one.